Renthal.com for more information. Renthal bringing you our next guest of the night. He's multi-time Supercross motocross champion. It's Ryan Dungey. What's up, Ryan? How are you, man?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
We're good. Thanks for calling in. We got your teammate here, Cooper Webb, in studio. So you know.
What's up? I see that. What's up, Coop?
You got any bike setup tips for him, Coop?
He's my test guy. What do you mean?
Yeah, pass it on to him. Well, Ryan, yeah, thanks for coming on the show. And of course, dude, you shook the industry. Like, seriously, in the pits, everybody you talk to is like, he's coming back, and like everyone wants to talk about it. You're coming back from the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championships for at least the first two. What the hell are you thinking, Ryan? What went into this? What went into this?
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people have that. But honestly, this is something I've wanted to do for a while. I mean, I think year after year, granted if the right circumstances came about, I wanted that opportunity, to be able to have that challenge. And it's something that I didn't think it was going to happen, but as things kind of came together this year, and, I've always, took care of my body, tried to stay in shape the best that I could. Did I ride all the time? Not all the time, but I always stayed in pretty good shape. So, when it got back on the bike, when things started warming up here, things were really good. And then the guys needed a little bit of help, and they wanted a little help out in California with some testing. And I thought, yeah, let's go check it out. And the speed was good. It felt good. And, there's some opportunity that opened up there with some of the guys, like Coop sitting out the outdoors and Marvin not doing outdoors either. And so I was like, hey, maybe there's something here. So I kind of knocked on the door, and once it opened up, and it's pretty cool. I'm excited. I really am. I've been, the last 2-3 months been really putting in a lot of time trying to prepare. It's going to be tough. These guys are, it's been 5 years since I've been on the gate. So I got a lot of work cut out for me, but I'm excited. I'm just really excited for the challenge ahead, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, so you didn't really like you didn't get on the bike and be like, I want to race the nationals. You were on the bike testing and felt really good, and like, hey, why don't I race? Was that kind of how it went?
I think it's I felt good right away, but this new bike, especially in my opinion, I got to ride it back in September last year when the guys wrapped up for the outdoors, and it was a production or a prototype model, and I think Coop got to ride it shortly after that, and I just was really blown away about it personally. And so as this year came about and we went out there and rode the bike, and I was like, man, it makes you want to ride. It's fun. And so when I got on the bike, I got the chance we did a little bit of testing, made a lot of progress. This was outdoors. Engine felt good, suspension felt good, and it just was like things were clicking. And so if it hadn't gone that way, it'd probably been a little bit of a different story. But right. But anyway, it's just it's one of those things. It's not like the team came to me. It was definitely in all honesty, I went to them, explored the idea.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing in my head was just hey, maybe let's do 4 or 5 races. That'd be kind of cool, right? But then I got thinking about it. Racing is just a sport. Unless you're not, especially this sport, it's like unless you're all in, it's kind of like it's hard. And so it's like, of course we're going to do the first 2. If things go good, we want to continue that down the road. But for me, just kind of having that, the long term of it, mentally all into it as well as physically. That's the best way to,
right.
It's the safest way in my opinion. But
yeah.
So.
I'm surprised, man. Like, you've done everything in the sport. You've made a ton of money. Your legacy is secured, but it's still driving you to come race the nationals. I'm impressed that you want to do this. You want to challenge yourself. What are your expectations? What are you thinking you can do, at least at the first 2?
I think for myself, there's a lot of guys out there, and I just got to keep the focus on myself. But for me, I mean, in all honesty, yeah, I want to go out there and compete for wins. That is my goal. It's a tall order.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the biggest thing for me right now is just putting in the time, the physical prep, the motos, the intensity, the speed, and everything like that. So I don't know where I stand. It's not like I can really put myself up to the test unless I could go down to the Baker's factory, right, and we could all do motos together or something like that with Mookie and AP and those guys. I think that would be something I could probably get more of a gauge on. But
mm-hmm.
At the end of the day, that's only a few guys, and so it's just going to have to see where it all unfolds. And but the best thing I can do is just apply myself and, execute, focus on myself, do my own deal and race my own race, and, wherever it comes in at. And, but my hope is to be up there. My hope is to be winning and podiums for sure.
Well, I mean, I know Instagram videos are tough to tell, but Phil, he looked like he was ripping in the one that I saw.
Dunge, if you come back and win, I'm going to be so pissed. Just like
he's going to be pissed either way.
I'm going to be so jealous. Like, dude, a guy takes 5 years off, 6 years. 2016, and then comes back and wins. I'm going to be fucking serious.
Yeah.
Phil can't be happy for you. He's just going to be mad.
Yeah.
Right.
Ryan, I got a question for you. Did you test at all or ride that bike on Supercross, or do you just go straight to riding outdoors?
I have never rode the bike on Supercross, so all my experience on the new bike has mainly been outdoors.
I got you.
So I have not ridden it on Supercross. And back in in September last year when we were out there doing a couple days of testing, we only got to ride the bike for less than a half a day. And even me and Ryan Marias were trading the he'd ride it one couple laps, I'd ride a couple laps, and that was only like a half of a day. So things were pretty promising. It felt really good then, and then when I flew out there, so I didn't want to ride Supercross last year, I should say, too, because I hadn't really been riding that much at that time.
Right,
so
right. Yeah, you weren't sure.
It just was like, man, Supercross is a whole nother animal, and it's like, yeah, you got to work through the arm pump and all that stuff before you throw yourself into Supercross. So Mo tackled the Supercross side of things.
Renthal.com bringing you Ryan Dungey on the PulpMX Show. So Coop, you know this, and Ryan, you know this. DeCoster is DGAF with interviews. He just says anything, right? It's great for us, not great for you guys. So Roger told me, Dunge, that you said, hey, maybe I want to come back or whatever for nationals or whatever, and he said, okay, but you fly to Austria, and you did, Ryan. You flew to Austria to talk to Pitt.
Well, I mean, to in all fairness, I had already committed to KTM was doing a 23 model launch.
Okay.
They were doing a bunch of press around it, so I was already committed.
Okay,
to
all right,
to
okay,
Austria.
yep.
And none of this stuff was by any means like set up. It all pretty much fell into place. And so when I was over there, I got to sit down with Pitt for a couple hours and catch up with him and talk about it all and just kind of, the ins and outs, So, it did help that, to go over there and see the bosses and, help the decision, I think. Yeah.
I got one for you, Dunge. Obviously, like you said, taking that time off, you get to think, and you miss that. I would assume you miss the adrenaline and the racing and doing it. How has it been, obviously, knowing that you're racing now and the mindset and the prep, before it was, hey, I got to go out and perform every weekend. I got to go win this championship. I'm the top guy. I'm under all in, like, everything is so based around you, and obviously with that comes pressure to go perform and perform. Now you've been retired. You have 2 kids. You've been away from the sport. Like, how is your mindset, and how much appreciation do you have now for what only that you did in the past, but now just for racing in general?
Yeah, no, for sure. I think, there was no way around it. Like when I retired, like I needed a break. Now, did I know at that time what I exactly needed? No. I was going off of what I thought was best, my feelings and everything like that. But where I was then and where I am now, relating the two, I mean, yeah, for sure I have a lot of respect. I mean, I think that's never left, but, my perspective and the position I'm in now is a lot different. Like, right? Yeah, you said it all. Like, I have 2 kids. We're in Minnesota. But I also look at that, like, as a good thing. I mean, having kids is rewarding and it's great. And, I want to pour a lot of my time and effort into them. But at the same time, I think, we all have something that, deep down is gifts and talents and what that is and your purpose and stuff like that. So it's like being able to keep that going. And if I'm honest, when I was done with racing, I completely shut it off. I thought to myself, man, I don't need this anymore. I don't need to be on the gate. And I don't really need it's not the adrenaline junkie in me. It's like, I'm not an adrenaline junkie, but I think it's the adventure, the testing that you go through that racing brings, it tests you as a, you know how racing tests you in so many different ways in all avenues. And so it's like, there were so many things about racing that I thought like I could, and it's not even racing, the sport in general, I should say, that I thought I could do without it. You know, I thought I could just leave it, drop it, go do something completely else. And I think over time, I started realizing, like, you know, something's missing. And it's not that it's just like who I am as a person, what I like to do, the things that I enjoy, what makes me tick, right? Like what gets me out of bed. And there was a lot of things that I probably, you know, just threw to the side and thought I was going to go on living life. And so I think those things started slowly coming up, year 2, year 3, being retired, not knowing how to handle it. Now I was pursuing other things. I was doing other things, and that was good. But to answer your question, I mean, it's like, yeah, in the spot that I'm in, of course, the mindset is, yeah, I still want to go into this thing. I want to win races, and I want to win the championship. Like that for sure, to me, that motivates me, that drives me, that there's pressure there. But at the same time, you know, with it brings out a lot of just alertness, you know, just focus and everything when you're on the track. And so I love the fact that I get to go to the track, I get to work hard, I get to do my bike rides, I get to do all that stuff, and I still get to come home and see and be with my kids and my wife. And I think when I was racing, it was like in Florida, me and my wife would just sit there all the time. Like, dude, we're so bored, we don't know what to do, you know. And so I was kind of feeling like the first day after things launched, I was like, holy smokes, this is reality, you know. We're going racing, and it was kind of weighing on me heavy. But at the same time, I'm thinking, no, it's like this is even better because all the reasons I just explained. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's but yeah, I wouldn't go into racing any other way than going out there to race to win. Like you know, that to me, I wouldn't do it.
Yeah, as a champion, it's hard to not have that mindset.
Well, that's where we're at. Like, we're like, what does he expect to do? And I said to somebody, he's not coming back to run 5 to 10. He's not doing that. He'll just stay home. So he thinks he can win podium. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Like, that's just how you guys are, right? I did like Lindsay's Instagram. Did you guys see that? Where she was like, yeah, I'm not really stoked, but Ryan's back racing. That was funny.
Yeah, you know, in all honesty, she asked me, and I was like, hey, you know, be honest. That's right. All you can do. I mean, why be fake? I mean, don't try to put on a front somebody be somebody you're not. So yeah, it's hard because for Lindsay's side, it's not in her control. It's you know, it's not her on the bike, and there's a lot of, I mean, any wife can tell you there's a lot happening there, I'm sure, but for sure it's definitely a step of faith and getting out of the comfort zone again. And I know this isn't going to last forever, so it's important to know that all the other things we have going on in life, we're going to carry through with those things. But, you know, this is just a challenge, like I said in the beginning of the conversation, that I wanted to pursue. And Phil said, you know, nobody's really ever come out and done anything, so the odds are definitely against me. But, you know, that to me, that motivates me even more to try to be successful in that area.
Dunge, I got a question. So we see Eli, you know, he needed a breath of fresh air. He had to leave Cowie. He went to Yamaha, and he's 30. Eli's 30 now, so he's quite older. If you would have, I'm not saying, you know, you were happy at KTM and this and that, but if you just change something, if you did go to a different manufacturer, or you change your gear company, like I'd even talked to Brayton about this as well, because he's been doing the same thing for so long, same bike, it's just like you just need a breath of fresh air. If maybe you would have switched manufacturers or done something, do you think you would have been able to stay in it, or were you just, when you were done, you just shut it off?
No, I think at the point that I was at, it was more of it was like a mental, physical exhaustion that. And I, you know, and one could probably I could probably look back and think, yeah, maybe changes would be good. And that's probably, you know, I made a couple decisions in the past that probably weren't the best, you know, but I was searching, you know, but at that point, I mean, you could have put a new fender, but, you know, I also had a massive amount of confidence and trust in the team that I was with as well. That takes a lot of time to rebuild. And, I'd probably have to say no, just because where I was at in my career.
702-586-7857. You want to talk to Ryan Dungey about his comeback to the Lucas Oil Pro Motocross Championships? Give us a call.
Ryan, and then I had a couple questions. One, are you going to be based in Minnesota all summer, or are you going to go down to the factory at all?
Yeah. So I'll be based in Minnesota. That's actually what makes this thing doable as well. I'm not having to uproot my family, and we got a couple really solid tracks here. They're private tracks, but they're pro national caliber. So one's a really rough sand track, which is good, and then we got another.
That. It looked pretty sick.
Yeah, that video on Instagram? Because I don't want anything to do with that track.
That track looks sick to me.
I'm out on that place.
And I never even knew it was there, and we went up. A buddy of mine, Zach Williams, he actually does the circuit on the 250s, and he's like, yeah, there's a track up here, you go check it out. It was actually the first place I rode the first time I rode this year. That's where I went, and I was like, yeah, arm pump out to
the first track that's thawed out up there.
Yeah, it was like, wow. But it's good. It's good for training, get the heart rate up, good for endurance and all that good stuff. Now we're getting more motos here. And then we got another private track. It's called the BP Motor Ranch. It's about an hour north, and it gets nice and rough and rutted, and it's a really nice private track, and just kind of like a Millville type of dirt. Actually, it's really good.
And,
go ahead.
And I don't know if you can answer this one yet, depending on how it goes. But are you planning this to be, say it goes well, is this going to be just a summer gig, or is this like a Wyndham 03 project where it's full blown
Supercross 23?
Yeah, full blown comeback.
No, I'd probably have to say this would be. Just do the summer.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Grantsburg still around? You can go hit Grantsburg up. That place.
Yeah, we got Grantsburg.
Oh.
I can't believe you know that track. Yeah,
I raced it. Oh, I raced Grantsburg. Dungey.
Okay.
I'm a D23 guy.
I'm sorry.
Kellogg, Elko, Grantsburg, Mazeppa. I did them all back in the day.
Yeah, those are the hot. Yep, that's where we grew up racing. Yeah.
So, all right, quick poll here in studio. Phil, do you think he goes more than the first two?
Yeah.
Coop.
Yes.
Seth.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all in here.
Yeah.
Dunge, you're doing them all.
No, I don't really know him, but
Right.
I surmise if he does something, he does it right.
We're doing.
He's all in.
We just couch the first two in that press release in case he goes like 12-12.
Just talking the way he's saying he's training and stuff. You're just not doing that for 2 rounds.
No, Dunge, if you go 12-12 with the first two, you'll probably be like, hey, it was fun. See you guys later.
Yeah, but I think what's kind of unfair about all of this, in my opinion, and knowing Ryan, is regardless, like, I don't think people understand how legendary this really is for the sport of motocross to have Ryan coming back and even Tony out there, and just like in general, like everyone wants to go, results, but it's like
they just can't take it in and be like, oh, they're out
this
there.
This is unbelievable.
If he goes 12-12, I'm fine with it. I think it's badass he's back in the game.
I agree. Having Caroli and Ryan Dungey under the 110 is gnarly. It's awesome. That's
to me, it's a win right now.
Yeah.
You know?
Poor AP. Forget about AP. Like, he's cool too, but like it's Caroli and Dungey.
So that's just my 2 cents. I think, like Dunge said, he's going to go out there and do the best he possibly can, and he's a champ, and he wants to be a champ again. But that's just kind of what bums me out, is you see all the people like, oh, why is he doing it? Why is he doing it?
Yeah.
And it's like, hey.
Just appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
Absolutely. I agree.
That is a cool team, though. Dunge, AP,
Well, does
and
AP?
Cairoli.
Will AP know anything about Antonio Caroli?
0.
AP will just be like, who's this guy?
You speak English?
Yeah. Dunge, I got a DM from a fan. He is irate that you got the number 5 back. And like,
really,
dude, I don't care. Like, you didn't
all
steal.
things to care about. This is what
okay.
comes up.
Like, look,
Jesus.
if Dunge took it from a guy, then I agree that's fucked up. Like, you can't do that. But it's open. It's not being used. So and Ryan's coming back. Right. This guy's not happy.
Well, now if MC came back, the 2 should be ripped from Coop.
100%. No, anybody outside of MC takes it back for sure.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Have to.
Speaking of the number 2, Ryan, by the way, too, I talked to Villo the other day after he told me about.
Don't even tell.
Okay, no, yeah. After he finished telling me,
what did he say?
Well, he told me he's the fastest finish rider in the world. He can ride anything. And then after that, he said that you're fucking crazy. So just FYI on Ryan Villapoto's opinion on this comeback. So,
shit, asshole. I thought about him because we were on the dang a different Pingree Whiskey Throttle, and he was telling me how he was thinking about outdoors, and then he went and rode out in Paula one day, and he's like, screw this.
Right? Yeah, no, I agree, man. But no, it's awesome. It's really, really going to be great to see you out there. I'm stoked. Okay, so Paula and Hangtown, like, probably not the 2 tracks that you're most stoked on, Dunge. But besides Millville, like, what are you looking forward to? Is it the traditional Redbud stuff, or like, what tracks are you looking forward to hitting?
Man, I honestly all of them. I think like being away from the big ones that I always enjoy are the more your Redbud, Millville, Southwick, Budds Creek. I mean the ones that kind of really develop like that nice loam dirt and ruts and stuff. But I'm kind of excited to go through all of them. I mean, the mindset for me, we've talked about the first two and whatever, but my mindset is to do the whole series. And so to be able to go experience all these places all over again, and it's been a while, I want to enjoy that too. So I'm excited to get to each and every one of them. Yeah.
All right, we got some phone calls for you, of course, because you're Ryan Dungey and you're on the line. Let's go to Skippy on 3. Skippy, what's up, man? What's your question for Ryan Dungey?
Hey, what's up, guys? How are y'all?
Good.
Good. Man, I just wanted to, first off, ask what your best Junkman story is. And then after that, talk about some just good old-fashioned memorable races. What are your favorite memorable races?
Oh, man.
Who's Junkman?
I don't.
Do we know Junkman? Skippy?
He's John Mitchell.
John Mitchell?
He's
JM Racing.
Okay.
JM Race. He's out of Texas. I don't know. Junkman, he's always he actually got me into training. He got me on the spinner and doing hours on that thing behind the garage. But I don't know. He's just a good guy. Spent a lot of time with him as amateur. But, man, I don't know. Would you ask me the second question?
Second question, just what's some of your favorite or most memorable races? Not necessarily like as your best races, but just maybe your most just gnarly, like grittiest races that you've had. What's your favorite? What's the one thing that sticks to mind where you're like, yeah, that was gnarly?
I would have to say probably Southwick in 2011. Yeah, just not being at the bike, not being at the gate, and being down a whole lap and just having to. That probably the one that sticks out just because it was just
Yeah, I was in that race. You started a minute behind and you lapped me.
and you were kind of a Southwick guy too, Rarick.
And he was fit.
Yeah.
Man, that was 11 years ago.
Phil,
I know.
Phil, what were you doing?
Crazy
Where were you?
I was in Australia.
Oh, you're in Australia?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Getting kicked out at that point or no?
Not yet.
Okay, not
Close.
yet. All right.
Supercross only.
Thanks, Skippy.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks for the call. Next question from another Ryan. Ryan, what's up? What do you want to talk to Ryan Dungey about? Ryan, you there?
Yeah, we're here. What's
All right.
going on, guys?
What do you want to talk to Ryan Dungey about?
Yeah, what's going on? I just wanted to say it's pretty sweet seeing Ryan come back to the pro ranks after 5 years off. Got to say, it takes some balls to do that. I don't think it's ever been done. If it has, correct me if I'm wrong, but props on that, man. Looking forward to you getting back out there. Got to say, man, I'll be honest. When you were racing, all through your career, wasn't the biggest fan, but I will say, man, when you show up to Apollo round 1, we'll be there. We'll be hanging over the fence, cheering you on, man. So I hope you get out there and get after it. And yeah, I mean, top three is a stretch, I think, but if that happens, I think the fans are going to be going nuts for you.
Awesome.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Ryan. Thanks for the call. Yeah, I remember when Wyndham came back in 2003. Remember, he'd been out a year and a half. And
Dude, he was so good.
He took the lead at Glen Helen over, I don't know who it was, who he passed. And the crowd, I mean, this is a California crowd for Louisiana Wyndham. They were losing their minds. They loved him. Dunge is going to be in that same position, Ryan.
Yeah.
You're going to have the fans on your side, I think, no matter what you do. People are going to love
it. No, that's my hope.
Ryan Dungey brought to you by Renthal. Renthal.com for more information. Please check that out, of course. And Renthal will be on the bike of Ryan Dungey. Yeah, gonna be a fun summer.
Dunge, I got well, it's not a question, but we were just talking about, Supercross and motocross champions going back to back and doing both. Like you and RV were the last ones to really do it, but I mean, your career from 2007 to 2017, right? Yep. You hardly missed any races. Steel City, you broke your collarbone, you missed one. Other than that,
you missed the Supercross with a broken collarbone? No?
No,
you got to plate it. You came back with it plated. That's right. You didn't even miss it.
Well, I plated it, but I missed about 5 races.
Oh, that's it. Yeah.
Did you? Okay, yeah. But other than that, just unreal.
Right.
Like to be able to do that day in a year and day after day and train, it's just like.
Well, Coop literally just finished talking about it, how gnarly it was.
Yeah, like it's just I don't even understand, man. Like it's
at
that fucking level,
like it never dropped off.
No,
you know what I mean. He stayed at that level the whole time. That's the tip of the spear,
dude.
For that long.
Gnarly, absolutely gnarly.
Well, it's getting harder. I would have to argue too, because I don't want to discredit where my position, but we had on a given weekend 3-4 guys. We were now there's so many more guys that like the stress and the pressure of, man, if you don't get the start, if you are buried in the pack, it's a lot harder to. Everything is harder, I should say. It's getting harder. Yeah. So
just evolution.
I think that stress is gonna, the rider by the end of the year. I mean, Supercross and motocross. I will argue it's still those back-to-back seasons. It's heavy. I mean, and I think every rider would agree to that. But it's even more so by the time they get to the end of the season. Granted, they do the whole thing. Yeah, you're looking to do a nice little vacation by that point.
Yeah, but then even vacation, what is it, a month, and then you're back at it? Is it the month of September, or you're kind of back testing, right? I mean, dude, I remember when I was a mechanic.
And Nations.
And
Des
Monster
Nations
Cup,
and Monster Cup, right? And then so when do you stop?
Well, it's short. It's short too. I mean, that's kind of the. I remember asking. I asked Ricky this when I was younger. I said, how do you because you're in it every single week, and you're like, man, like you're thinking, what's wrong with me? Where's my motivation? Why I'm not just like foaming at the mouth, as some people like put it, and you're almost kind of dreading to go to another race. But he's like, dude, it's so short, like you just got to make the most of it. And I always remember that, like, okay, it's gonna be over. It's gonna be over before you know it. And dude, that was 2010, and it's like, yeah, how fast it all went. And me and my wife were just talking the other day. Dude, from 2010 till now, it's like I don't even know where time went. It's like, the movies you used to watch from 2004. That's almost 20 years ago. You're like, what happened?
Yeah, no. People, I started doing the mechanic thing in '96, and people would be like, "Hey, do you remember this year?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, that was like 5 years ago." No, it was like 2005. You're just like, what?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, it is. You're absolutely right, Ryan. You're absolutely right on that.
Anyway, just got to make the most of it. Yeah.
Well, I'm looking forward to this, and it's going to be a fun summer. It's going to be great.
Who's is your brother wrenching for you, or who's your wrench?
No, I actually get Coop's guy.
Oh,
wow, reunited.
Yeah, I was wondering about that because obviously AP's coming back, so your brother's done, right? And Frankie, but Frankie's around, so I was thinking maybe Frankie's.
Is Frankie going to do Cairoli?
No, I don't think so. Frankie's transitioning.
Is he transitioning?
Yes.
Yeah.
So all right, so Carlos. Back with Dunge.
Carlos for the summer, and then. Him and Coop.
Dunge's muffler just fell off. I don't know if I want. I don't know if you're aware of that, but his muffler just fell off. So I don't know. I was giving Carlos shit about it because nothing happened. Carlos is a great mechanic.
Yeah, unreal.
And I was a mechanic for a long time, and shit fell off my bike all the time. And when I saw the muffler fall
all
off,
the time.
It's not that I was happy that his muffler fell off, but I'm like,
it happens.
It happens. It happens to everybody. Even Carlos's muffler falls off. So you know what I mean? Yeah.
Coop. I'm sure Carlos he probably is like.
Oh, he was dark.
Talk about it.
He was dark.
You know what? I asked him about it, and he admitted it. He's like, I don't know. It was loose. It's always he didn't have any excuse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he had no excuse.
That's
right.
Carlos.
Right.
He's straight shooter.
Yeah. But I was just happy to see another, an elite guy have a part fall off his bike. So he's just like me,
Come on.
Later on, Coop, I'll tell you about summer cross. Okay, so just buckle in.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about summer cross.
Perfect.
My greatest win as a mechanic.
Yeah.
Actually, did you know, Coop, who took KTM their first ever win in America? First ever win for KTM.
I think.
Rant?
No, I actually don't.
Dunge, who you got a guess?
The
first time.
I'm gonna say Ramsey, but I don't know if that's right.
What was the question?
Like an AMA Supercross?
AMA National or Supercross.
Yeah, it's first pro win. How do they not know this?
They don't know it.
KTM's?
Yeah.
This dumbass definitely doesn't know.
Well, neither does Dunge.
I thought Dunge would
the
know.
fact
Coop
that
has
Dunge
no
doesn't.
idea.
Okay,
Coop's not going to know who this rider is, dude.
No, he don't. He won't.
Okay. Kelly Smith.
Oh, I was going to actually say that. but
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
Hold on, you were going to say that?
I was going to say that, but I was thinking the only thing he's, not to be a dick, but the only thing he's probably ever won is a 4-stroke national.
No. No. Dunge, you remember Kelly Smith? I'm sure you do.
I do remember. Yeah.
Well, High Point 2000, boys. Mathis, the Steve Mathis tuned KTM
Really?
125 took the win.
What were the moto scores?
This just justifies to Steve to bring it up for the next 5 years.
Well, okay,
You know what
so I asked Roger one time, I'm like, hey, if you ever, I took KTM, I got their first win. So if you ever, if there's any sort of ceremony you want me to do or you want to make me a plaque or anything
Like you should go to the Hall of Fame, not Raj, basically.
kind of, like I was saying, like, it was a mud race. So what tests the mechanic more than mud race?
What'd Travis go? DNF 1, right?
I don't know what he did. Okay, Seth. We went 1-4 for the overall.
Okay, 1-4. That's what you guys did.
Yeah.
I think
So-
Travis went DNF 1.
So there you go, Dunge. I just want you a little KTM history for you and Cooper Webb.
Yeah, I did not know that. Now I do.
Yep. So whenever
Akira
all your
Narita.
both of your
Second.
success started with me, and then it carried on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to put a poll up on Twitter. Can we do this for the people?
Yeah, we can do this.
Dungey in his prime.
Yep.
Coop in his prime. Supercross title. Who wins?
Okay. All right. So
Dunge.
so you want your buddy Coop to lose this poll?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I might get 2 votes.
No, I think
You
I
guys.
actually. Yeah. I'm
All right.
curious about that.
All right. We'll put that poll up. So all right. Anything else for Ryan Dungey?
No, I mean, I just think, like I said earlier, I think it's really cool. I think it takes it takes some balls, to be honest, and I admire that and I appreciate that. And like you said, it's been 5 years, and as Phil said earlier, he's got plenty of money in the bank, and so I think it's badass.
Yeah, dude. How about you give me some of your money? I'll go into retirement, and then you can come back and re-earn that money, and then we're good. You get a little extra motivation.
There you go.
No,
Dunge.
You guys. No.
We're just being dumb.
Yeah.
All right, Dunge. Hey, thanks you for calling in. Congratulations on this announcement. I think this is cool. I'm so looking forward to this.
Dude, I can't wait for the Tilly Laps Phil this summer.
Yeah.
That's going to be awesome.
Dunge, I'll be back in Millville. Stay out of my way, all right, mate?
Wow. All
I
right.
appreciate the support, guys.
Yeah. Thanks for calling, Ryan. Thanks, man.
Yeah, you guys have a good night. Thanks.
All right,
See ya.
see ya. That's Ryan Dunge, everybody. Brought to you by Renthal. Coming back.
I actually didn't think about that till just now. He will be racing Dunge this summer.
Yeah.
That just clicked.
Phil's triggered that he didn't get a 3-digit.
Yeah.
So,
it's kinda nice,
do you guys care? Because I don't.
That's
I
ridiculous.
About what,
I
the number
definitely
thing?
do not.
Yeah.
No, dude. It's Ryan Dungey.
Well,
Come on.
rules are rules, but I don't care. Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay.
Just
yeah.
like Cairoli taking that guy's number.
Right,
Dude,
yeah.
it's Tony Cairoli.
Right.
Come
right.
on.